Hi everyone, my name is Leah Farhadian and this is my presentation on A Midsummer's Night Dream by the LNS Company. So my take on this play is through a Miami nightclub scene, and I chose a thrust theater for this specifically because I think this kind of layout would bring the audience into really into the party scene and allow them to feel the chaos that's felt throughout the play. For the main stage, I would design it similar to a nightclub lounge with a small dance floor, bar with some drinks, some chairs, and a bunch of colorful lighting, specifically a dark purple and blue, and some pink as well. I think it would be really interesting to have the actors run through the audience, up and down the stairs, to just make the audience feel very involved. And for the wedding scene, I would transform this quote unquote nightclub into more of a luxurious hotel by dimming down the colorful lighting just a little bit and taking away the dance floor and the bar. So, regarding the concepts, I think that the chaotic nature of love is really highlighted through this party nightlife scene, and the concept goes well with the play as the enchanted forest is transformed into the bright and lively nightclub scene where emotions are really heightened. And I think this setting amplifies Shakespeare's intentions as this line between reality and fantasy are blurred. I would consider this to be a surrealistic production because it's heavily exaggerated with colors and these chaotic visuals and the dramatic outfits. Um, I think that the heightened emotion and language do reflect certain elements of this Greek theater, especially with all four of the lovers and um, and the couple that is expected to get married later on in the play. I think this production demonstrates the power and influence that love has, as it may blind one from accepting reality. The nightlife scene may represent how someone wears a mask when they go out, whether it's literal or emotional, or people often go out to these nightclubs to kind of escape from reality. And I think that really touches on Shakespeare's theme regarding identity and the truths that one has within themselves. So, regarding the mood imagery, the image in the middle includes these big chandeliers, and I think that really just shows that how dramatic this era was and all of the bright lights and everything. I think it just shows how chaotic a night in Miami was. So, regarding costume design, one of the characters I chose was Titania, and she's the Queen of Fairies. So, I figured a sequence gown would pair perfectly with her character. And it's like a yellowish white color, so it would change with the bright colors in the club. And I think some gold jewelry, a lot of bold jewelry would suit her well. And this costume kind of blends her iconic fairy royalty status with the diva vibe that is seen throughout the clubs. And the sparkles and jewelry really make her status clear. Um, for costume design number two, I chose Hermia, and I would dress her in high-waisted pink pants with a cropped rhinestone top that kind of steals the show, brings your eyes just straight to the top. And I think a matching pink purse would pair really well with this outfit as well, and the pink streaks in her hair. She is very privileged, however, she is rebellious against she's going against strict orders from her father. So I think that because of this privilege, she's dressed well, but kind of unfit for the party life just because that's not typically her area. And I think her costume will get a little run down, a little dirty as the play goes on, which kind of reflects her confusion and um, unexpected love life. For Helena, I think the costume that I chose for her, I think really demonstrates that she just doesn't fit in. She tries too hard, and the pink dress really shows that because it doesn't fit in with the party life, and it is very glamorous. However, it's not the right not the right scene, and she just can't pull it off. And I think some tacky jewelry would also go well with that, along with a really excessive makeup look. She tends to have a lot of emotional outbursts, especially during the scenes where Demetrius and Lysander are both quote unquote in love with her. So I think that really reflects the way that she's dressed. And lastly, for this production to come to life, I think that I would need about $10,000. According to basic research that I did, a thrust theater would cost roughly $3,000 to rent for a few weeks. And for the acting crew, I would choose a smaller crew, about 15 actors, and I would set about 3,000 aside for paying them. Now, this nightclub set I think would be able to be done with a $2,000 budget because it is from the 80s. So I think a lot could be taken from thrift stores, such as the props and the lights and fog, would also might not be able to get from the thrift store, but those um, would be included in that budget. I think that the costumes would cost anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000, closer to the 2,000 end. Um, the jewelry and accessories are crucial in making the costumes really fit this theme, and I think that could also be executed well by um, getting it at the thrift stores to really show the 1980s vibe. Thank you.